This Ford muscle car can zoom at a speed higher than 200 miles per hour. From the vintage charm of the 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT to the modern might of the Shelby GT 500, these Fords are more than just fast. They are iconic. With heavy engines and groundbreaking designs, these are the 8 fastest Ford muscle cars in company history. At number 8, 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT at 132 miles per hour. This model could hit a top speed of 132 miles per hour, and it came from what many call the golden age of muscle cars. That's the late 60s and early 70s. That was a time when companies in the US were really pushing the limits of what cars could do with power and performance. While the Mustang is usually the star of the show, the Falcon was right there with it, especially the 73 XB GT. This car was a powerhouse with a 5.7-liter V8 engine that delivered 300 horsepower and 380 pounds-per-feet of torque. It was made by Ford Australia and became super popular over there. In the US, though, the Falcon was discontinued in 1970 because not enough people were buying it. So many American car fans didn't get the chance to experience the XB GT when it first came out. Despite that, its powerful specs made it a tough competitor in the muscle car world even after its release. Next, at number 7, the 1994 Ford Mustang GT SVT Cobra at 137 miles per hour. Even in the 1990s, Ford was still making some of the best muscle cars out there, though the decade didn't have the same iconic feel as the earlier muscle car era. Stricter emissions rules meant Ford couldn't make super powerful cars like the Torino GT anymore. But they still came out with some great cars, like the 1994 Mustang GT SVT Cobra. This Mustang had a 5-liter V8 engine that put out 240 horsepower and 285 pounds-per-feet of torque. It might have been a bit smaller than some of the older engines, but the SVT Cobra version was still a standout, racing up to a top speed of 137 miles per hour. Even with the smaller engine, the 1994 Mustang GT SVT Cobra really delivered on the road, giving a sporty and fun driving experience. Number 6, the 2019 Ford Mustang Bullitt, top speed 163 miles per hour. The 2019 Ford Mustang Bullitt is a cool tribute to the famous 1968 Mustang GT from the movie Bullitt, where Steve McQueen made it famous. This modern version mixes classic style with new technology. It's got a powerful 5-liter V8 engine that cranks out 480 horsepower and 420 pounds-per-feet of torque, letting it hit a top speed of 163 miles per hour. What's special about it? The Bullitt takes its engine from the regular Mustang GT, but tunes it up to give you more power and better airflow. It's got a bigger throttle body and an updated control module that boosts its performance even more. Driving the Bullitt feels great because of its 6-speed manual transmission that helps you shift gears smoothly and quickly. It also has a unique exhaust system that sounds just amazing, adding to the fun of driving it. The car looks sharp too, with its classic dark green paint and chrome touches that nod to the original. Inside, the Bullitt mixes old-school charm with modern features. It has green stitching, a retro white shift knob, and modern tech like a big digital dashboard and a high-quality sound system. All these make the 2019 Ford Mustang Bullitt not just fast and powerful, but also a stylish, modern version of a classic car. Number 5, the 2012 Ford Mustang Boss 302 Laguna Seca, top speed 164 miles per hour. The 2012 Ford Mustang Boss 302 Laguna Seca is a beast of a car, specially tuned for tearing up the track. It's named after the famous Laguna Seca Raceway and is built to excel both on the road and on the racetrack. At the core of this car is a powerful 5-liter V8 engine that kicks out 444 horsepower and 380 pounds-per-feet of torque, pushing it up to a top speed of 164 miles per hour. What really makes the Boss 302 Laguna Seca special are its lightweight materials and aerodynamic tweaks. It has a front splitter and rear spoiler that enhance downforce and stability at high speeds. And it even ditches the rear seats for a roll bar to save weight and boost its race-ready vibe. The car's suspension is also specially tuned for sharp handling. It features adjustable shocks and struts, stiffer springs, and a beefier rear stabilizer bar, all designed to make the car handle like a dream. Plus, it rides on 19-inch lightweight alloy wheels with high-performance tires that grip the road tightly. Inside, the Boss 302 Laguna Seca is all about simplicity and focus. It's equipped with Recaro racing seats and a streamlined gauge cluster, removing any unnecessary distractions so you can concentrate on the drive. With its combination of raw power, slick aerodynamics, and track-focused features, the 2012 Ford Mustang Boss 302 Laguna Seca is one of the most thrilling Mustangs you can drive. Number 4, the 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Super Snake, going as high as 170 miles per hour. Just 3 years after the Mustang first hit the streets, Ford and the legendary Carroll Shelby came together to craft one of the most unforgettable Mustangs, the 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. This model took the GT350's performance to the next level, and within the GT500 lineup, one model really stole the show, the Super Snake. The Super Snake wasn't just any GT500. It was a one-of-a-kind prototype fitted with the massive GT40 427 cubic inch V8 engine, instead of the regular GT500's 428 cubic inch V8 from a police interceptor. This powerful engine churned out a whopping 520 horsepower and 500 pounds-per-feet of torque, pushing the Super Snake to a top speed of 170 miles per hour. Though Ford initially planned to make 50 of these Super Snakes, they ultimately found it too costly to do so. Even so, the GT500 Super Snake has remained a legendary name in muscle car history, celebrated for its exceptional power and rarity. Number 3, the 2003 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra, going even higher at 175 miles per hour. In the early 2000s, Ford really stepped up its game with the 2003 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra. This model brought back the excitement of the Mustangs from the 60s, but with a modern twist. It had a 4.6-liter DOHC V8 engine that kicked out 390 horsepower and just as much torque. Even though it was a bit heavier than the older Mustangs, this Cobra could zip it up to a top speed of 175 miles per hour if you took off the speed limiter. This car wasn't just fast, it set the stage for the next gen of high-performance Mustangs, keeping it right at the front in the muscle car race. Number 2, 2010 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, going all the way up to 190 miles per hour. The 2010 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 really stands out in Ford's lineup as a powerful car. This beast can hit a top speed of 190 miles per hour thanks to its advanced engineering and modern tech. It's powered by a supercharged 5.4-liter V8 engine that pumps out a whopping 540 horsepower and a 510 pounds-per-feet of torque. Plus, its aluminum block keeps it lightweight, boosting its performance even further. Ford gave the 2010 GT500 a fresh look, too, with a more aggressive front and air extractors that help keep things cool under the hood. They also tweaked the suspension to make it firmer, giving you better control when you're pushing high speeds. Inside, the GT500 doesn't skimp on technology either. It's equipped with the latest navigation and infotainment systems, making it both powerful and plush. With its combination of raw power, sleek design, and cutting-edge tech, the 2010 GT500 isn't just fast. It's one of the fastest and most well-rounded muscle cars Ford has ever done. Finally, at number 1, 2005 Ford GT. Top speed, 205 miles per hour. The 2005 Ford GT is like a modern vision of the iconic GT40, the car that dominated the Le Mans race in the 60s. It was made to celebrate Ford's 100th birthday and to bring back the old-school racing glory. This supercar is all about top-notch Ford engineering, featuring a 5.4-liter supercharged V8 engine that whips up 550 horsepower and 500 pounds-per-feet of torque, pushing it to a top speed of 205 miles per hour. Why is the Ford GT so quick? A big part of it is the Lishome twin-screw supercharger that boosts the engine's power while keeping everything running smoothly. The car's body is made from lightweight aluminum, which helps make it nimble and fast. The design of the Ford GT is super aerodynamic. Its sleek shape, rear spoiler, and diffuser work together to reduce drag and increase stability at high speeds. The suspension is also top tier, with double wishbones and coilover shocks that make handling sharp, whether you're racing or just cruising. Inside, the Ford GT combines luxury with practicality. It's got comfy leather seats, a classic gauge setup, and modern perks like air conditioning and a great sound system. Despite being a powerhouse, it's still comfortable enough for everyday driving. All this advanced engineering, smart design, and serious power make the 2005 Ford GT one of the fastest and coolest Ford muscle cars ever, really bringing the spirit of its legendary predecessor into the modern age. And if you liked diving into the past to see some of these impressive Ford muscle cars, make sure to click on the next video to find out more about car technology.